panning it a lot more. Bass absolutely centered. If I have two leads, I'll pan them slightly, and as a matter of degree, it's like I'll pan them like 7 to the right or 7 to the left, or sometimes 12, and you just kind of listen to the image, and that's it. But definitely hi-hats panned, more so. What genres do I mainly produce? Techno and stuff. Mainly techno. I like sampling. I use synthesis, but I like sampling and processing and reprocessing and I'm a fan of disco house, so I sample quite a bit and bring things in modernly. That's why I don't want trying to say this humbly, but that's probably why I'm kind of decent at EQing, is because I've had to like take sounds from different eras, different tracks, and put them all together again. This is a Daft Punk track. The Daft Punk track is going back up, hopefully. So what happens is, they sent me a DMCA takedown. They sent YouTube the DMCA takedown, and it got taken down, and they used a bunch of legal jargon, and kind of freaked me out for a sec. But then I realized that, it's fair use, and it's fair use as educational, and it's fair use in terms of commentary as well. And I didn't post the remix anywhere. I didn't release the remix. I've made that very clear. And yeah, it was taken down. So then I filed a counter notice, and how it works is, YouTube, like the safe harbor laws, what happens is, I get it taken down, and I say, this is wrong. So then Columbia has 10 days to issue notice of, taking me to court or whatnot, or suing me because I have infringed their copyright by, ripping a commercial and making a remix out of it, which I didn't even release. And so then they have 10 days, between 10 and 14 days. They have, after 10 days, YouTube has to reinstate it within 5 days. So 10 to 15. So in the next 5 days, it'll go back up. In theory, unless they said, we're taking them to court. Because I think what happened is that everyone released all their remixes, and they made get lucky for 10 hours straight, looped. And what they did is, they didn't want that, kind of eating into their promotion. So they got a company that's very shady to get it taken down, because all you need is a window of 10 days. And then they took it down, and then the song came out at midnight, right? And their YouTube video and their music video and shit came out. So I think it was mainly, clearing out YouTube of all competitive videos so that their official one could go up. And yeah, I think that's what they did. And it's kind of shady, but it's and the company can't be liable for perjury. So I think it's just a kind of a technique they did to guarantee that their video got the exposure that it needed, which it really didn't. It's a remix video. And if that music video was up and then mine was a related video, holy shit, that would have been a different story. I would have had about 5,000 subscribers by now. More than that, because it's been down for a week and a bit. That would have been crazy. You know what I mean? But they took it down, and I guess it's necessary because they wanted to be a cool guy. With panning hi-hats, what do you do when you're using loops? Do you extract it first? You chop up samples. It's the old recycle days, where there's a thing in Logic. I got this idea from Shantai, who I'm going to interview which is gonna be cool. How he would use the loops, but then he would chop them up in a program, and I chop them up just by moving my mouse around and going crazy, and then I'll pitch them and I'll transpose them to match, and I'll pan them, and then I'll bust them, and then bam, new loop. Quite lazy. Oh yeah, doing sampler bootleg work will force you especially since like disco. If you watched the one yesterday, I was talking about how they EQ'd things differently back then, and that lends to Daft Punk's kind of style. Just taking disco and then EQing it modernly, it sounds completely different. It's pretty fun. What kind of EQ do you use for a clap? For a clap. Your second question, I'll answer first. I tune it until it sounds good, and I guess I kind of have a good ear for it. I wasn't trained classically, but can I have your babies? Oh, sup, Nave? I gotta get you in here. My computer blew up, but now it no longer blew up, so we're good to go. Word. Anyway, that's you take care. What kind of EQ do I use for a clap? Well, I use the basic one, the Ableton EQ. My musical background, none. I play jazz. I gotta get a clap. Hold on. So these are pre-processed, but goddamn hard drive. Yeah, as did say banging pots and pans. Wow, okay, I guess that one's neat. Shit. So for a clap, I would say mid-side EQ, just for ease, right? Because you want it wide, but like the claps are so quick and like not wide enough. So like basically, right? This track. What are you doing?
I want to use your strainer to make tea.
Okay. Typically I would like kind of gently take out the bottom end of the clap. And claps are very easy to EQ and start phasing. It sucks. And then I would gently kind of take that out. And it's mainly making room for everything in a weird way. Right? And then I'll show you for sake of ease, mid-side. Mid-side is like a neat kind of trick. Well, not really a trick, but it's a good way to kind of clean up and boost things without actually boosting things. Right? And like it kind of pushes the clap out, and then here it is with and without. Yeah, I don't think you can hear that, but yeah, mainly it's just taking out a bit for the lead and the bass that may be there, and then of course you'd sidechain slightly the kick. It would make it the kick would you don't want the clap and the kick to interfere, because the click of the kick and the clap take up a very short period of time in the very similar area, right? But then you want the click of the kick to be prominent, and then the kind of fade of the clap to continue, and the human ear can't really tell the difference. Here, I'll show you. So like we have our kick here, right? Right, that sounds okay. But what we'll do is sidechain the clap to where we could find. Right, that sounds kind of intense, but like just a slight bit of gain reduction, you can see that, and right now it sounds kind of better. Like right now, it's like it's the clap and the kick. It's taking too much. Well, the clap is taking away from the kick. You have frequency conflict and phasing going on, but when it's on, and then when you master and you bring it all back up, you know, the human ear can't really tell the difference. All the human ear hears is, oh, there's a clap there. That's awesome, but the kick is punchy. And somehow the kick is punchy and the clap is still loud. And it tricks your ear. And it's just a very, very subtle thing. Right? That's not just EQing claps, that's processing claps. And I hope that kind of answered it in an interesting way. Yeah. And yeah, the reason for that is the human ear can't. It can hear increases in volume easier than it can hear decreases in volume. You understand? So it can't hear the reduction of that as much as, you know, if we had like an upwards compression where we would design like the transients of the clap to be snappier. Yeah, but this way, you know, the kick is punchy and prominent and the clap isn't interfering with it, but the clap is still there in a fun way. Bam. Oh yeah, musical background. Answer that. I have no musical background. I was in jazz band in middle school. I played the trumpet. I can't play keyboard or piano. I know C scale. And yeah, that's it. So that's probably why I make techno. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I don't know. Kick processing. You use nerve to get a better snap. Yeah, the nerve you can do without nerve. Here. So what you can do is say you like guess say we have this kick and it's in a track and it's not really working for us currently, and you have this kick, right? It sounds nice, it has a nice body, but I don't like the snappy part. So what you do, blam, is you layer them, and it's really easy to do in Ableton. It's actually kind of fun. All right, as an example, that's what is that? I think it's like a bit of a clap mixed in. So we'll take that, choppy, and we'll take that, boom, right? And then we'll just kind of fade that in. We'll give it a nice snappy transient, right? And then we have a snap compared to what it was. Oops. Right? So that we have that like, right? Doesn't really work. But then we have something snappier. We can, in turn, oops, get back here. And we can pitch this up if it would stay there. Come on. Right? And this way.
I put your tea leaves back in.
Really?
I was done with it.
Oh, that's so weird.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to reuse them.
Okay. And that's a way to kind of take your kicks and turn them into something new. Save like, you know, and you don't need nerve to do that.